Everybody, welcome to Cow Daily. Same as usual, I'll do a bit of preamble while everybody joins the live. There's always a lag. Hope everybody's doing well. This week, today, we're doing a daily. It is Cow Daily. We've got Ian from the Bimiri Foundation. He's coming in from Nepal. He's obviously going to tell you a bit about his work. I'll bring him in a minute, but obviously what we usually do is this. If you want to support our work, go to patreon.com/Cow Daily. That's patreon.com/Cow Daily. There's also a link in the description of this show to support work on PayPal. Very much appreciated. Big up the man this morning who did just that and said yesterday's show was awesome. Appreciate you, man. You prefer to remain anonymous though, so thank you. What else we got? Also as well, if you would like to get your questions in the comments for Ian, we'll get as many through as many of them as we possibly can. See, people are starting to join the stream already. Leon's in. There's quite a few of the others in as well, but let me know where you are in the comments. Let me know who's in. And as I say, get your questions in. Without further ado, I'm going to bring Ian in. Ian, how you doing, man?
Yes, mate. Namaste. How's it going, man? You right?
Hey, let's up your namaste a while. Do you see what I've done there? The kind of 1970s chicken in a basket comedy, right? Live and direct. How's Tricks, mate? You good?
Good, man. Yeah. I'm inside. Unfortunately, I was going to be on the roof with a spectacular view of this monastery behind me, but I'll have to have a little picture instead because it's absolutely about to batter down here.
Is it?
2 months early, but it's like monsoon rain coming in. Whatever month we're in now, global warming is just absolutely savage. The seasons over here.
Oh, I bet, man. So, start off. What's on your T-shirt?
Oh, Pipeline, mate. Yeah, the Bimiri Foundation presents Pipeline. We did these. The Pipeline. We did a few gigs a few years ago, and the night was called Pipeline. So these are the T-shirts just left over from that.
Well, I had a look at your website, and I've got them right here because basically we've put hip hop nights on. We used to put raves on. Obviously, haven't for a while. But I noticed that, I was thinking, hold on a minute, Flip Tricks, Verb T. Do you know High Focus Records, something like that? You got connections with them?
Yeah, High Focus Records. Yeah. The gig so the connection with that was I met a guy in Amsterdam at a Ocean Wisdom gig, and he was just happened to be old school friends with Flip Tricks and a guy called Confucius MC, and he got involved with the foundation for a little bit. He came out to Nepal and then helped me set up those gigs.
Absolutely magic. I see. One was in Sweden. One was, where was the other one? Was it Brighton?
Stockholm, Brighton, and Limerick. Yeah.
Amazing. I've got the one for DJ Stingray as well.
6 weeks as well. Yeah.
I DJ Stingray as well. I just thought, hold on a minute, because obviously we'll go back to the start in a moment about how we actually got this sorted. But I had a bit of a poke about this morning. I was like, oh, no way. You're basically just us. We're into exactly the same things. Bit of techno, bit of hip hop. Good news. So welcome. You're amongst friends.
Nice. Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
No worries, man. So I just want to read out the message that you sent first, just to give people set the scene about how this came about, because it's quite interesting given what we've been talking about this week. So Ian says, "Hey up, man, how are they? We've been following your page for a few years now, and this morning you inspired me with your interactions with that ChatGPT thing. I run a small Scottish charity that is building drinking water pipelines in villages out in Nepal. I asked ChatGPT this morning, what would be the most effective way to convince people to donate to charitable cause? And amongst other things, it came back with partner with influencers. Consider partnering with influencers who have a large following on social media. Influencers can help spread the word about the cause to a wider audience and inspire their followers." So that then led to, Ian, do you want to talk about what you do on the show, mate? You're right.
Couldn't believe it, man. Couldn't believe that. I was wanting to share a post, maybe. I wasn't expecting that at all.
No, honestly, first glance, I was like, I need to know more about this, and that's a lot about what the show is. It's just like an inquiry into what cool people are doing around the world. So, I'll just pull up some of the things that we've got here. Obviously, simple question is, how long have you been doing this? How did you get into it? I'm sure you've been asked that quite a lot.
So, man, the story sort of started off a long time before we even started doing the water. I think there was a few points that sort of led me to do this. The first one was going to India in 2007. I started learning Hindi, And then 2008, I was studying Hindi with a teacher, and I was living in a room under this restaurant run by these Nepali guys. One of which, well, the guy who owned the place is Prim, who I now live with up here. So from that to the Hindi, and then in 2012, set up like a travel company. It was basically just a Facebook group, basically saying I want to come to India. So we did for about 2012 to we were still doing the tours in 2016, 17. So we'd start the fundraising by that point. But yeah, it started out as just like a load of British, Irish, and whoever wanted to come along in India. But it was kind of just like getting on the buckle. Yeah, class.
That one there, yeah.
Yeah, so that's me lying down at the front with an afro and a broken leg.
Nice.
Because about 4 days before the first tour was coming, we had like 26 people arriving, and we'd been at some music festival in Delhi for Holi, the Colour Festival.
Oh yeah,
and I'd been on the sesh for like weeks with a bunch of people, and I was like, right, I need a bit of time on my own. So I got all that lot sorted out in a taxi back to where we were going up in Rishikesh, and I was like, right, just give us 100 rupees, right? You said to Julia, one of my tour guides there, lying down at the front, she was just carrying my passport and everything because I'm useless and I always lose everything. So I said to her, right, just give us 100 rupees. I'm going to hitchhike up to Rishikesh and I'll beat you up there. And then it all went wrong. Like, it was going so well. I got out of Delhi really quickly. And then I was like hitchhiking on the motorway, and this truck pulls up. It didn't stop. It just kind of slowed down. And this old guy's like giving me his hand like that, like, come on, just jump in. And I was like, I don't want to grab your hand. You're about 80. So I grabbed the bar up there, and then I just sort of threw my foot up to where there's like always a step. There's always a step, man, but there just wasn't a step on this truck. So my foot like hit the sheet metal and then just slid, and then ended up on top of the wheel of the truck, man, and rolled under the truck, and I ended up with so I did that first tour. I went up a mountain on a donkey, did everything that we were supposed to do on the tour. So that was like the first one of them. That photo was 2012, 13, and then started doing the fundraising I was in Nepal in before the earthquakes. It was 2015, and do you remember the Ice Bucket Challenge? You know that, like,
I do.
That was kicking about. For I think the charity was something to do ASL or something like that, ECL.
That's right.
But there's millions of people around the world like pouring like 20 liters of water over their head. And some of them were raising money for charity. Fantastic, good on you. But most of them were just doing it because their mates had tagged them, and they'd be soft if they didn't do it or whatever. So it's like, so I got this tag for this Ice Bucket Challenge. I was in Nepal, talking about the fact that my friends' wives are carrying baskets of water around. Got this tag, and I was like, what shall I do? Like, shall I ask Shanti over there if I can just borrow one of her baskets of water that she's just carried up the mountain and pour it over my head? She's going to wonder why I want to do that. So instead of doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, I just put this big rant out. I should have sent the picture of that, actually. This big rant on Facebook, just saying, like, there's a load of shite, sorry, but if you want to do something charitable, like, just chuck me a tenner and I'll build a well in my friend's village. Yeah. So I got this message off one of the guys that was on the tours, and he said to me, like, how much do you need for the well? And I was like, I don't know, man, we just thought about this like 5 minutes ago. Asked one of the Nepali guys. He just came up with a number. I don't know where he came up with it from, but turned out it was like, he said, figured out to 2,650 quid. And I said that to this one guy who'd been on the tour. 2 minutes later, he says, right, that's in your account. Go and build your well. I was like, I was crying. No man. I was absolutely crying.
Amazing.
Yeah, man. And then through the first week, there was like several £1,000s raised. And then the guys in the village were like, wow, we didn't expect that. We could build the well now, but inevitably a well is going to dry up at some point. So he said, there's a big Chiefin waterfall down the hill there. Glacial waterfall, 100 meters high. It's been flowing for thousands of years. It's probably not going to dry up anytime soon. So we get a bit more money. We could, we could do that. Okay, Sandra said, we'll do that. We'll build a pipeline. So that's how that's basically the start of it. Was it would have been about January 2015. I did the first fundraising.
Just bear with us here. My dog's having a bark. Zeb,
I hear that. Work away.
Debbie, shut up. I think the neighbours come home and they usually howl, and so he kicks him off. Sorry about that.
That's all good. Yeah, so 2015 would have been the start of the fundraising. Yeah,
that's cool, man. I've just got a little bit this for the people on the screen. So it's BamiriFoundation.com. You can see it on the screen there. And I really like that pipeline logo, man. It's absolutely cool. I think it looks cool on a shirt too. You know what I mean?
I love it, man. I've got 300 of these sitting in my ma's house. If you want one, like,
I wouldn't mind. Like, I defo. So, like, what was
over, mate. No worries.
Defo? We'll sort it out after. It's a cool shirt, man. I'll actually, we've got some as well. Like, I will do a shirt swap, like it's the football or something. Yeah, we've got merch too, so I'll send you one.
Let's do it, man. Eh?
Nice one, aye. But right, so before you guys, where did the water come from before, and how far away from the village? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to trigger this walkthrough video that you sent us, and if you want to just tell where the place, I think that would obviously give people an idea of what the place is. And
and the terrain that they're walking up and that as well. Yeah,
definitely.
So they've got like so this is me just walking through the village here. So initially, like down about must be 1.5 kilometers, 2 kilometers. They would go down and they've got like there's a well down there, which is now where our second pump house is there, basically. So they would go down there, and depending on the sort of requirements the family have, because obviously if you've got like a buffalo is drinking 50 liters of water a day. Wow. So you're carrying, like, you need to have, like, the reason that most families wouldn't have a buffalo is because they've only got like 1 or 2 women that can carry and I say women, like, because it's generally always the women that are carrying the water. So unless you've got like 10, a big sturdy family that can carry loads of liters of water, then you're just not getting a buffalo. So yeah, it would be about 1.5 to 2 kilometers away each way, and then you'd be doing that. Like, they would carry up to 40 liters at a time. So 40 kilograms, and these women weigh about, like, they must weigh 45, 50 kilos.
That's amazing. That's a lot.
These are big, massive women. It's incredible, man. So I've just opened a wee homestay out here. So we've had some guests, and one of the things I've started doing with them is we're taking them on the hike down to Beamery. Hopefully they see the project with their own eyes. They stick that on social media, and hopefully then that turns into a few quid from some of their Danish friends or whatever. But yeah, so one of the things I'm starting to get them to do is take a basket from the village, go down to that original watering hole, and just carry back just 20 liters, half of what these, like, the locals would be carrying. You see in this video, right, you see like the majority of the houses there, they're all like half built and that. Yeah. So since the earthquake, so Beamery was the earthquake in 2015, it destroyed like 600,000 homes in Nepal. I got this from ChatGPT. 600,000 homes were destroyed, 8,964 deaths. But 80% of the homes in this village were destroyed, right? And that house on the right-hand side there, there's someone living in that, right? So it's a tin shack and logs. And that is still a tin shack and logs. This video is about 3-4 years old. So this house that we're looking at now, that's now beautiful. It's finished. It's a lovely home. So yeah, this kind of brings me on to actually the stuff when we started doing fundraising. This was only a few months before the earthquake. So earthquake happens, and I'm like on the phone. I was back in Scotland, so I'm on the phone to Prim straight away. I'm like, right, Prim, what's the crack? What do you need? So this home you're seeing now, right? Yeah. So I said that to Prim, and he's like, look, I'm okay. Speak to VJ. VJ is another very old friend of mine, and so that house there, I basically phoned up the guy that had given the big donation, and I phoned up a bunch of the other people that had donated the money up to that point, and I said, look, I don't know if you've seen the news. There's been a massive earthquake in Nepal, and my mate's village is basically falling down. So right now they're not really thinking like we need water. They're thinking we're all sleeping in one building in a school in the village. So I just asked the lads, like, look, would you mind if we just use this money to give it to my mate to rebuild their house? And they were like, whatever, we give you that money to do something good with and rehoming a family, that'll do. So that kind of, it set us back on the fundraising, obviously, but I was able to speak to my mate VJ, I've known for like 12 years, and just say, look, get the builder in, tell me be paid in 3 weeks, no problem.
That's incredible, man. That's beautiful, isn't it?
So that was good. That was it was the first house that was rebuilt in the village, and like, it's pretty savage here, right? So the government, more that I got from ChatGPT actually was like, it was the biggest, it was one of the biggest collections of foreign aid for a natural disaster anywhere. $4.2 billion in 2015 was pledged, but by 2020, March 2020, only 2.2 billion of that has been dispersed.
Really?
Where's the other 1.9 billion US dollars gone, right? So for the families here to get any relief money from the government, they have to first build 50% of their home and then ask for the money. So it's like, if you're just a villager, like, living off the land, where are you getting 50% of the cost of a house from? So there's people waiting since like 2015, still 2023 now, they're waiting 8 years, they still don't have that money. And it would only have been, I think they were getting 2-3 lakh, which is about maybe £1,900 towards the cost of rebuilding their home, and $4.2 billion is pledged from people abroad.
That's not right. That's not right.
Don't cost that much to build a few clay houses, like.
So, it didn't. Well, quite, quite. So,
pretty savage.
So, how much have you raised so far, and how have you done it? I know you've mentioned the events that you've been doing. Like, what other ways did you go about it?
Yeah, you know what? Majority of the fundraising was. So, how much we raised so far? The Beamery project it's up to now. It's been £52,000.
Cool.
How we raised that is mostly just Facebook, man. Just Facebook posts. Just like, look, here's a photograph of a young Nepali girl who, in a few years' time, without your help, is gonna be carrying baskets of water around. Pulling at heartstrings, man. It's savage.
I understand. Just on that, like, I mean,
at the time.
It's just on that. It's not just like the physical sort of side of things for young girls, though, because they're obviously like not doing anything else. They're not, I would imagine, not getting an education or like taking up a lot of time carrying this water. So does it take young women away and disadvantage them like it maybe wouldn't young boys?
It definitely does, man. Yeah, there was a WaterAid campaign last year specifically about Nepal, and it was a wee like animated thing of like a bunch of girls in a classroom, and then like a third of the girls would just sort of evaporate into a droplet of water, and they're basically saying like 1 in 3 girls need to basically come out of education early so that they can go and do this carrying baskets of water. Because ChatGPT's told me 74% of homes in the country have access to improved drinking water. But it's like that means that there's one tap in the village where women can go and queue up and get their water. So only 10% of homes in the whole country have actually got access to piped water into their home. 10% in 2023. It's
That's
2080
crazy,
in the Nepali calendar. Like they live in the future.
Yeah,
it's mental.
It's a different calendar.
It's absolutely mental, man.
So, like, what impact has the project had on the village, Ian?
Man, Beamery now, right? So I went down again. I got back in March, and I went down there. So we kind of the final day where it was like, right, we finished the project last June, so it's been 9-10 months, and now, like as I say about the buffalo thing, there's loads of families in the village that have got a buffalo because they've got a constant supply of water. So now you've got families with buffalo, and a buffalo you're milking that for 10 litres a day, and 10 litres of 10 litres of milk is going for about 1,000 rupees, which is more than your average salary for a day. So, like, say, for example, a chef in a restaurant here might make 15,000 a month, 500 a day. So if you've got a buffalo and you're pulling in 30,000 rupees a month minus costs, because buffalo eat quite a lot as well, so you need to feed these things. But still, you're making, so they're making money off of that. They're selling money to, like, the word for milk here is dude. So the dude wala comes around and he buys all the milk off the folk. Also, they're growing like green veg that they weren't growing before. They're growing all their own. They're growing different vegetables. They're sustaining themselves with that. Any excess, they can sell that as well, make an income. So within 9 months, they're already the village is changing. It's becoming a more affluent place just because they've got a water supply.
That's amazing, man. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Right, I'll just move on to the next question for you. What challenges have you faced within the village and since you started the work?
I'd say, so the earthquake obviously was the first one, although that was only like a few months after we started. The big other thing that really affected the project was seeing that video of the building the initial intake tank. There's a video of that. So there's a guy in that video, Batman. He was like our project manager, the kind of guy on the ground that did absolutely everything. All I do here, all I do for this project, I'm not building pipes. I'm not physical, practical worker in the slightest. All I do is find money and send it to Nepal. And then these guys are geniuses, man. Anything they don't know how to do, they do it themselves. So Batman, and one of the biggest sort of things about this project was Batman was our project manager, and unfortunately died a few years ago in the middle of the project. And that was like a big. It was horrible, man. It was like a week of being in hospital with him, and obviously there's no NHS over here, so it was just like throwing like waxing credit cards and just throwing like set up a fundraiser and stuff. And so that was a bit of a kick in the stones. It really destroyed morale basically on the project. But then other than that, the only issues really was just that it's hard to raise money for charity, man. You know, it's like
Yeah.
£50,000 project, and I'm just, there's me on Facebook going like, here's anyone got a tenner? So mostly just like, I suppose the difficulty is really we're just like getting the money, because if I did just come into the village and gone, right, I've got 50 grand, go and start, it would have been a 2-month project.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, you know, the actual working part of it would not have taken 8 years, like, in the slightest. But because from the beginning, I said to them, like, right, we'll do a bit, like, I'll get some money, we'll build a little bit, and we'll take photos and videos, I'll put that on the internet, and be like, right, thank you very much for your donations, this is what we've achieved so far with what we've been given. Now we need a bit more money, and we'll do the next little bit. So that's kind of how it's been going. It's been a slow ass progress.
I bet. So how can people like donate, and what's the best way for them to go about that?
So the website that you just put up there, there's a donate now at the top right of that. The
Nice one.
Facebook page, like pretty much every second. I don't like to put the donation link on every single post, you know, because you know yourself, you know, having to do the, you know, patreon.com, blah blah blah, that chat all the time. It's kind of soul destroying, isn't it? But yeah, if you follow the Beamery Foundation Facebook page, which is also on the website, yeah, there's donation links there everywhere you go. You can also actually, if anyone's got their phone in their hand right now, if you text pump it to 70, damn it, I should have had this ready. I'll check that out right now. But yeah, there's basically, that's on the Facebook page as well. There's text to donate you can donate £3 a month for one number. Text pump it. I think it's 70460. But no, I don't want to say. Don't quote me on that. I'll check it out.
No worries. If you send it through, I'll put it in the description when it goes out on Spotify and all the other platforms as well. So I mean, just do it after the show, dude. It's cool. But I really appreciate your time, man.
So many ways, like, no, man. Jesus, me too, man. Me too. Quite enough today, actually. We've got some guests turning up tomorrow.
So, like, what's next, like, for you? Like, just before we head off, like, what's next for, like, the plans? I mean, obviously, you need to resource them, as you've said. So, what would you like to do?
So, the next project we're doing, it's the village of Saura. It's about 1.5 kilometers away from Beamery. So they've got a bit of a setup already. They've got like the villagers themselves have basically funded and built this little pipeline. Where they've got 3 taps around the village, so it's like one of those, what the Nepali government says is like improved water solution. So they've got 3 taps in the village, and we're basically trying to just expand on what they've done and bring water to every home. But the immediate sort of requirement for that village is that the pumps and stuff that they've had them taken off them because they were basically borrowing electricity from the grid, which is obviously not allowed. So now they've sorted that out with the local municipality or whatever. Now they've got a line running to where their pump's going to go, but they've had the pump taken off them and they won't get it back to them. So the immediate basic requirement is I need to raise £1,500 to buy this pump. We'll just plug it in straight away. They're back to having the solution that they already had, and then that gives me a bit of time to then raise the rest of the money. So the total project for all the pipes, everything we need to do, like the whole village, £15,784. 10% of that is the pump. So yeah, my like immediate sort of goal at the moment is to just raise that money. So we're doing these online Nepali cooking classes. 50% of that is going to the next project. So anyone who wants to get involved and do like learning how to cook Nepali food, momos, pakoras, stuff like that. And do that.
The very best of food. I fully appreciate it, Tammy, and honestly, what I've got to play out with, you know, one of the videos that you sent us, I'm going to play that out in a couple of minutes, and it explains a little bit more while you're on the ground. You know, the one where you've got the got that one for you as well. Anything we can do to, like, obviously just send us through anything you want, sharing, that kind of thing. Once you're on the show, you're a friend of the show, you're friends together, man. So any help we can amplifying what you're doing, because I now that we've spoke, I just love it all the more, you know. It's a beautiful thing that you're doing.
I really appreciate it, man.
Hey, brother, not a problem, man. Thank you for your time, and thank you for like letting us know and educating us about the world, you know.
No, man, thank you for having me on, man. It's amazing.
And like I say, I mean that, man. Anything you need, just give us a shout, yeah?
Yeah, I will do, man. Yeah, we'll do.
And we're going to play the show out with your video and just a bit more from the area itself. What a beautiful place. Thank you, man. All the best. Right, I'll just put this video in for you and just play out with some of the work that Ian's been doing. What a great guy, yeah? I mean, imagine that, just going over there and doing all these things. Just beautiful there. Just check that that's in the stream. It is indeed. Right, I'll just play out with Ian himself, and he can tell you what he's been doing.
Namaste, La Sofia Fola. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you following the page who don't know me, my name is Ian Paniwala. For the last 8 years, I've been running the Beamery Foundation, which is a small Scottish charity making a big difference here in Nepal. I'm currently in the village of Saura. Over my left shoulder here, we have the village of Beamery, where we completed our first project. I've just got down here today and I've met with Babakaji, who is the guy on the ground in Saura who's going to be organising everything. All I do here is just raise the money and give it to someone in the village, who then organises all of the workers, all of the equipment and everything. So Babakaji has informed me that basically we have a problem here. At the moment, you can see this is Saura's current water setup. So they have three points around the village where water was coming in. So at the moment, there's a small issue with the pumps being used because they've been confiscated. Because in this part of the world, if you don't have electricity where you need it, you just kind of take it. But that's not allowed. So at the moment, we're sitting here in a village where they now have no water solution whatsoever. So the total funds we need for this whole village, £15,784. It's not a great deal of money. About 10% of that is going to be the pump that we now immediately need. We need a pump here. £1,500 is all we need. So what I'm going to try and do over the next few weeks is I'm going to raise £1,500. That's the first thing we'll buy for this village. After that, that will be incorporated into the project. But immediately what we can do is with that pump, we can connect it up to what they've already got, and we can get water back pumping into this village. So what I need from you lovely people following this page, thank you very much, is just if you can afford a couple of euro, a couple of pounds, a couple of dollars, whatever, that'd be great. There'll be a donation link under this video. If you don't have €2, that's not a problem either. If you just press share, you're probably going to reach somebody that might be able to just throw a couple of euro our way. So €1,500, it's not a great deal of money, and it brings water to a village. 45 homes, a few hundred people. I'm not entirely sure how many people. We can figure that out. So yeah, please press share, press like right under this. Just press like and share. That's all you need to do. That's all I ask. Please, if you could do that, we could raise £1,500. We can buy a pump in here any day now, and that'd be fantastic. Thank you very much. Namaskar. La Sofia Fola.
Let me tell you a story. It's entitled A Leader Called Kia.
I will do it. Hello, back again. Sorry. That kicked into the next video. Apologies for that. Hopefully that doesn't do one copyright. What a great lad he was, though, you know. What a lovely, lovely man, and devoting his life and to doing that and being live from Nepal while he's doing it, and just blows my mind, you know, like people like just putting themselves out there for other people. So I know times is hard and all that, but if people can, links in the description to this podcast where you can support the foundation and support the great work that Ian's doing. Thanks everybody for being here. You can get this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It'll be out as usual as a premiere on YouTube and Facebook for the evening crew later as well. And obviously links in the description if you want to follow Ian's work from here. Please like, share the Facebook stuff and just amplify what they're doing, because that's what we're trying to do with these guest spots on Cow Daily, mixing it up a bit, but also trying to use our platform to amplify the work that good people are doing all around the world. Because if we think from a global perspective, we can actually affect change. And I think in the UK right now, there's a bit of a lack of hope. And we talk about hope every time we do a show at the end. Talk about a big bucket of hope here and the work that Ian's doing. So big up Ian, big up the work that he's doing, and big up yourselves for being here. Have a great weekend. And as ever, keep your notifications on, because we might pop up over the weekend if we're feeling it and we're not knackered. And given the fact my health's much better now, that's likely. All the best, pals. See you later.